Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started here. So welcome to the Blueprint Solutions and ESCO Integration webinar. Thank you for joining us today. I have a couple of housekeeping items as we begin, so just please keep your microphone on mute and cameras turned off for the duration of the webinar to reduce distractions for attendees, but please feel free to utilize the chat feature to send in questions as we go. So there will be time at the end allocated to Q&A. With that, I'll hand this over to the president of Blueprint Solutions, Henrik Nielsen, to introduce himself, and then pass over to Paul to introduce the ESCO team. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget. My name is Henrik Nielsen. I'm president of Blueprint Solutions, and I also want to point out that this meeting is being recorded for good order. So why are we working with ESCO on this integration? Well, first of all, at Blueprint Solutions, we've always been very big believers in automation, such as automated appointment reminders, marketing automation, and automated online intake forms. These are basically features that ensures that patients receive relevant information at the right time without any action needed by clinic staff. Our collaboration with ESCO is another great example on an automation in Blueprint OMS. So Blueprint will automatically search for patients in your clinic system and send contact information for patients whose warranties expires within the next couple of months to ESCO. There's no cost to this, I want to point that out. ESCO will then use this information to notify the patient about their upcoming expiring warranty and present them options for extended coverage, or give the clinic an opportunity to discuss the continuing care for the patient. Paul and team will talk more about that, so I'll stay away from that for now. This is basically a service that benefits all parties involved. The clinic will benefit from an automated data feed to ESCO for patients with devices with upcoming warranty expiration. No staff involvement is needed, and ESCO will print and send professional clinic-branded mailers to the patients. The patient will get an offer for an extended peace of mind on the hearing device, or an opportunity to upgrade to current technology, or a discussion about continued care, as we will see later. And the clinic will benefit from providing another touch point with the patient and a retention opportunity in the patient's care life cycle. And for Blueprint's point of view, we get the opportunity to provide another value-added service to our clients. It's a win-win all around. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn it over to Paul, so we can dive in to this. Paul.
Thank you, Henrik. Thank you, Bridget and Leah and Blueprint team. And thank you all for joining us today. I'm happy to tell you we have only a few slides, a couple of speakers to talk through with you how simple it is to work with us. But we're grateful for the partnership with Blueprint Solutions and look forward to being able to work together with so many of your offices. As Henrik said, my name is Paul Harkness. I have been the president with ESCO for 1 year. The company started over 35 years ago, and I'll talk a little bit about ESCO and what we started out as and where our focus has been. But I thought you might be interested to know that in 1998, Henrik Nielsen was my boss. So for most of us on this call, many of us on this call, Henrik is pretty much the boss for most of us, right? In all seriousness, grateful for the chance to partner again with you, Henrik, and have enjoyed working alongside you over many years. So with that, what I really want to do today is give you a refined, renewed view of what ESCO is and why it might matter for your practice. Most of you on the call probably know a little bit about us, maybe work with us. There's a good chance of that. We're going to focus on one particular way, as Henrik so eloquently did, and frankly, my director of marketing who's on the call here might need to reconnect with Henrik, help us capture everything he just said. He'd be our best our sales connection. But what is and who is ESCO? You might be interested to know that ESCO is actually an insurance agency. It just so happens that we're an insurance agency that has decided to focus for 35 years in the hearing space. But we really have, as Henrik nicely said, a goal of helping all parties. Certainly, we want to give patients peace of mind that their investment is protected, but at the very same time, we want to protect the loyalty of the patient to you, to your practice. And in my time, 30 years in the industry, all of which has been spent in support of the professional side of hearing and patients seeing experts like all of you. I think you'll see us making that more clear at ESCO going forward. And I think you will find us to be very specific about how we intend to assist you in that. For the simple fact of it is that we believe that the lifetime value of a patient means they buy several sets of hearing aids from you over time. And in order to do that, you have to marry up when new technology is available and when you're interested in talking with them about that, with when they are ready to make that next investment. Oftentimes those timelines don't always match up with when we would like them to be. So we think that ESCO can be the glue that keeps them connected to you while they are in that period of determining when they're ready to reinvest. We've created a new look and feel, again, to prove to you that business to business is really our focus. Really, our belief is that patients who buy our policies need to work with a professional, that being you. And when they need to file a claim, when they need assistance, when they need to be refit, that all goes through you. And so many of our tools and a lot of the work we've done to help you understand how easy it is to work with us is very much focused on you and your practice and trying to create efficiencies and, as Henrik said, automation throughout your workflow in working with us. So these are our 4 main pillars. We're not going to go through all of these in great depth today. I just wanted you to understand how we view this. Really, there's partnerships just like the one we have here with Blueprint. There is an economic component, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then our 2 main programs, both in warranty, when someone loses their hearing aid under their original warranty and no longer has loss coverage for the existence of that. Of course, we've got a great program for that you may already use. And then today, we really want to focus on when that patient is approaching the end of their original warranty. How can we assist you in keeping them glued to you? And that is the focus of our out of warranty program. So we'll talk about that in just a second, but I wanted to reiterate what I think most of us already know. If I asked you what the average timeline is for someone to repurchase, you might all have different answers, but it generally isn't 3 years. As they finish up their original warranty, most are not ready to buy again. Thank goodness some do, but what do we do with patients that aren't ready? How do we handle them? And of course, you already are talking with these folks. You already have a plan of attack. Generally, it's involving demoing new technology. But if people aren't ready, how can ESCO assist you in filling the gap until they are? And again, as we mentioned, we know that the real goal, the real aim is getting that patient to repurchase. We support that. We want that too. We want to be part of that process. But we think that for those that aren't ready, we can be a very helpful partner to you until they are. So let's start with giving you a little bit more detail. Henrik already spoke about it really nicely, so thank you. I'd like to introduce our regional sales manager, Jesse Crooks, who handles all of our sales here. And he's going to explain to you a little bit more about the tools we use in out of warranty.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Hi, everybody. My name is Jesse Crooks. I've been with ESCO for about 9 months now and have been in the hearing healthcare industry for 10 years. I am going to share a couple of tools with you One being our custom reminder care, which Henrik touched on. I'll go into a little bit more detail for you. Paul, if you want to move on to the next slide. So the custom reminder care is a tool designed, again, to keep your patients loyal to you. What was once a traditional manual process where it could get bogged down with mail merges, staff turnover, running out of time, has been sponsored and completely automated by Blueprint and ESCO. So how this program works is we allow a practice to select from 3 different messaging options, the most popular being discussing actually new technology within the letter. We then brand these letters to the practice with your logo and any provider headshots that you would like to include. And then we send these letters out at 60 days and again at 30 days prior to the expiration of the warranty. These pair really well with any automated emails or text messages that you got going out for warranty reminders. Really just, it's an extra touch point, it's a physical letter, and it really will raise your response rates for patients to get back in the door. The program is actually very easy to sign up for. It's a simple program and very efficient with this partnership. All we do is we collect a simple data agreement just to ensure everybody is HIPAA compliant. We then gather those assets from the practice and we can have letters ready to go out within as little as 30 to 45 days for the practice. The second tool that I will touch on was actually inspired by an ENT group in Florida, and really is to standardize what the appointment looks like when the patient finally comes in for that end of warranty. So again, it's designed to kind of streamline how the practice discusses the end of warranty and make sure everybody is on the same page and having the same conversation. So it's implemented by the practice and it's a simple checklist essentially. And it goes over new technology, it goes over extending the patient's warranty, and then it also goes over any future charges a patient can expect. So really the what's next of a patient's future care. This too can be branded for the practice. And Paul, if you go on to the next slide, Blueprint actually has taken an extra step and added this to the forms, the patient forms section in your software. So what this does is it pre-populates your patient information, it adds your logo for you, and a patient can actually sign on the spot acknowledging what you discussed, and really again that they understand what's next in their future care. The best part of both these programs is they're brought to you absolutely free by both ESCO and Blueprint. ESCO actually pays for those letters that we discussed earlier to go out, and all of this automation is sponsored by Blueprint.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that. I know we're going quickly, a lot of info. We'll make sure you have contact information for both Jesse and our next speaker at the end of our presentation, but it really is as simple and painless and non-committal as Jesse describes it to be. So we'll look forward to getting your feedback afterwards. On top of what Jesse described, of course, we want to make sure it's clear and easy and simple on how to work with us and how to have your team utilize our systems and our software as well. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce our ESCO Experience Manager, Tanisha Holly, who will walk you through a couple of specific things in terms of how to work with us.
Hi, everyone. I am Tanisha. I have been with ESCO for 19 years in different capacities. But right now, as Paul said, I am the experience manager here. So I'm the person who you'll contact for questions, things that you need, like more supplies. But wanted to focus today and make sure everyone is aware that if you have an account with ESCO, you have a portal which will contain all of your policyholders' information. So that's where you will verify who has coverage with ESCO. It's also the place where you will submit online claims, which literally will take you 2 minutes to submit to ESCO. You can keep track of open claims, as you can see on this screenshot. and just other tools that you could use when working with ESCO. I am also responsible for onboarding, so there is times where you can schedule to talk to me. I understand how busy your office may be, so if you don't have the chance to talk to me physically, in your portal, you will find all the training modules on how to work with ESCO, from submitting claims, the differences between co-payments versus deductibles, just the different coverages that we have to offer and where to find pricing. But I would love to onboard. I like to talk, as you could tell. But in case you don't have time, those videos are always available to you through your portal.
Excellent. Thank you, Tanisha. And she's being modest, but we chose her to be the face of ESCO in these modules. We have 6 of them. They run between 2 and 3 minutes. We took an hour's worth of comprehensive video from the past and really broke it down into very bite-sized pieces for you and anybody on your team that you think would be appropriate to learn how to work with us. So we hope you take advantage of that. Tanisha did a great job of it. But she is also, as she said, available live, especially as we go through this process. And what you'll find if you decide to work with us on the customer reminder program is that once your letters are ready to go, Tanisha will reach out to you specifically to let you know that they're about to hit and make sure that your team is prepared on how to answer questions. Thank you, Tanisha.
Thank you.
All right, just a few additional slides here, then we'll get to whatever questions you might have. But again, there are a lot of things to talk about with ESCO. That was part of our challenge to try to make it simpler. But as it relates to this process around end of warranty, which is both our customer reminder care and our continuation of care forms, these are the hallmarks. These are the main points. As has been mentioned so nicely by Henrik and then by the team at large, there really is no cost. There's no fine print. The only thing that we would work with you on, if you haven't worked with us before, is just helping you determine what your co-payments should be. But to that point, I want to make it clear that unlike you exercising your one-time loss with a manufacturer original warranty, when a patient has an ESCO warranty, ESCO coverage, there is no deductible. So that is why we show you how to set your co-payments so that those monies stay with your practice and make sure that you value your time is valued appropriately, like you do with many of your other services. So we can talk you through those things very simply. But again, we'd just like to augment or bolt on to what you already do with patient retention programs. And again, great programs like Blueprint already may assist you with doing those things in terms of email. But our typical demographic, many of them still enjoy going to the mailbox every day and opening up the mail. So I think them getting a letter from you or that looks like it came from your practice is a much better chance that they not only open it, but react to it. And as was talked about by Jesse, we don't want to undersell the fact that while some people will take a policy out through this program, you'll also get people that will decide to come in because of the letter and demo new hearing aids and buy them. So we don't see this as just a win-win for us on a policy side. We actually do believe you'll get additional sales as well. As Tanisha mentioned, we've greatly simplified the claims process. I spoke with another group this morning who remembers times gone by where that was a longer, more laborious process. It's much simpler. So if it's been a bit since you worked with us, we hope that you take advantage of getting to know us, the new ESCO, the new more technological process. So that doesn't stand in the way. And we want it to feel like it's a simple thing to decide to work with us. But at the end of the day, we talked about being the glue of helping keep people sticky with you while they're being bombarded by lots of other alternatives, professional and non-professional, so that they remember that they are tied to you. We also liken it to a bridge. So we believe, as I said, and support the goal of repurchase, many repurchases, hopefully, right? But we think that we are the perfect bridge for a happy patient to repurchase with you when they're ready. And so that is the very quick, abridged ESCO story. So these are the people that you met today, Jesse and Tanisha. This is how you can get in touch with them. That's our number to reach. And again, I just want to thank Blueprint and the Blueprint team. And it's important that I say this, but Blueprint's been a partner of ESCO for many years. It's just that we have we've decided more recently to put additional effort behind automating everything, and Blueprint has really stepped up to help include us in your forms library as well. So Henrik and team, we know that you've supported us in the past. We look forward to being a little bit more assertive together to help each other out. Bridget, any questions from the group?
Okay, if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to chat those in. We can stay on the line here for a couple more seconds.
Looks like we did get a question in the chat. So Rob asked, can you confirm where ESCO is trying to interject in the process? Are these for out of warranty devices to extend the warranty, or are these devices that are these for devices that have already been replaced? So, I mean, I can answer that. This is a great question. We actually have two types of policies. We do have an in-warranty policy. So if a patient has used their loss and damage policy through the manufacturer, they can get replacement loss and damage coverage through ESCO. And what's nice is we partner with a lot of the manufacturers to actually include a little pamphlet or brochure with the replacement device in that box. So they just have the pricing on there already, and then they can call and get coverage on that new device. The programs that we discussed today is for out of warranty patients. So once that 3 years hits, the patients who aren't ready to purchase new technology at that moment, we want to capture them and make sure that they are covered until they are ready to repurchase.
Great job, Jesse. Hey, Tanisha, since we have a minute, would you let the group here know how we handle it when someone buys an out of warranty policy and 6 months into that decides to buy new hearing aids? How does that work?
Yeah, of course. So the great thing about ESCO is that your patient simply needs to contact us and let us know they're purchasing new from you. We will celebrate with them, and then we will cancel their policy based off that date, and we will refund them any of the unused portion of their policy. So they're not out anything if they renew and then 2 months in decide to purchase new. Like Paul said, that's what we want. We want to celebrate them getting new technology from you.
Great job. And again, just wanted the group to know, again, we are all for the repurchase. We don't want to elongate it or get in the way, quite the opposite. So that's why we're willing to reimburse the unused portion if they do decide to repurchase before their warranty is up.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Rob. Thanks for grabbing that one, Jesse. We have another question on the line. Kathy's wondering, what are the average copays?
Tanisha, can you take that?
Yeah, so Kathy, that's a great question. They really vary from clinic to clinic. When I do talk to offices about it, I also put in perspective, what you would charge for a deductible to the patient from the manufacturer. Sometimes offices will charge that, but instead of having to pay that deductible directly to the manufacturer, they keep that in-house because ESCO is now responsible to pay that invoice cost. So I would love a chance to talk to you further. Sometimes I can look in the area and give you numbers on what other people are charging. But yeah, there's tons of options for co-payments.
As Tanisha said, it's completely up to you. We do want to train you to charge for your time, but the beauty is there is no co-payment, so whatever you choose to charge is yours to keep.
Another question on the line. Rob's wondering if you're stocking devices.
If we're stocking devices, so was that the question? Like, do we inventory them?
I believe that's a question, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good question, Rob. We do not. We have a great relationship with the manufacturers, and oftentimes they will make sure we continue to have access for products even that are a little bit older. But we do not keep them at the facility here in Minneapolis.
Question on the line in regards to limitations for replacement. How many years after warranty?
Tanisha, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So we do have guidelines. Our underwriters allow for 3 loss or physical damage claims within a 5-year period before we will have to say goodbye to your patients just because of the claim risk they are. But it is 3 loss and or damage claims. If your patients do have normal repair claims like weak intermittent claims, those will not ever count against their policy.
Was that the question just to make sure to recapture the question?
Oh.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
So it's 3 loss or damage claims in a 5-year period. Yes.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think where he's also going is how long can they continue to extend their coverage? And ESCO, these are annual policies, and we will continue to cover their devices on an annual basis. If the practice would like to put a time limit on how long they can do that, we can work with you on implementing that for your practice.
Very good. And any other questions on the line? All right. Okay. Well, please feel free to reach out to either team if you have questions. We'll make sure that we get those funneled to the right person. Thank you again, everyone, for joining an ESCO team. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For being here with us today.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.